reviewing an epic historical action film that came out in 2007 that is directed by Zack Snyder and stars Gerard Butler, Rodrigo Santoro, and Lena Headey, and that movie is 300! Okay, so this epic adventure has just started, and so far we have witnessed the first appearance of our main character, Leonidas, who is here played by Gerard Butler. In reality, however, Leonidas was a king of the ancient Greek city-state of Sparta. We just heard Leonidas yell, "This is Sparta!" And sure enough, one of his enemies, a Persian herald, was thrown into a bottomless pit by him and his Spartan soldiers. Leonidas has now arranged a Spartan army of 300 soldiers, so I guess that is where our movie's title comes from. Could I be right about that? The Spartan army is having to deal with stormy weather at the moment. It just goes to show you that even in ancient times when people geared up for battle, they had to be prepared for whatever came their way. Now the Spartans are gearing up for battle against the Persians. That's because, in those days, the Greeks were enemies with the Persians, who were from what is today Iran. My, are these Spartans mighty tough. In those days, swords and shields were used instead of firearms, because those weren't around yet. Long spears are being used from what we just noticed. Those were another common weapon used in ancient Greece. Giant animals such as elephants and rhinos are being deployed now. That's because, in those times, our modern-day military tanks weren't even thought up yet. Xerxes, the godlike king of Persia, which was Greece's main enemy, and who is played by Rodrigo Santoro, sure seemed furious at his army losing these battles with the Greeks. Queen Gorgo, who is the wife of Leonidas, and is thus the queen of Sparta, and who is played by Lena Headey, is now trying to persuade the Spartan council to reinforce their 300 soldiers making their last stand. Even Leonidas has a deadly long spear in his hand from what we just saw. I would assume that even kings went into battle with their armies in those days. Spears sure are flying now. That's because, instead of bullets, as firearms weren't invented yet, in those days, they had long spears. As we get closer to the end of this historical film, we are finding out that Leonidas has unfortunately perished, but at least the Greeks triumphed over the Persians thanks to his sacrifice. Overall, 300 is a truly enjoyable but also very violent and bloody fictionalized retelling of a battle that occurred in ancient times, which is the Battle of Thermopylae in the Greco-Persian Wars. Join me next time when I review The Incredibles. I'm Flick James Flick, your one and only movie reviewing secret agent out there.